Last night, we would have wished to see your brain operate a little bit more when they're breaking down big plays or big-time offenses. But last night was the story of the defense. I think we all forgot about that Carolina Panthers defense and how great they were last year until last night. I'm speaking for me. I apologize. Did you expect them to be as disruptive as they were for the New Orleans Saints offense? And what were your thoughts on the Saints offense?
Yeah, for Carolina's defense, I thought that if they could get into those passing situations that they ended up getting into, that they could have some success. I think Ejiro Evero, their defensive coordinator, is really smart with the way he uses kind of attacks protections and attacks offensive linemen. Burns is a very good player playing for a contract. I would hope that Carolina pays him because he is tremendous. I think someone's going to. I think Derek Brown is trending into having to get paid as well. So there's a lot of motivation. We didn't know exactly how well they were going to play last night because J.C. Horn, their corner, is such a good player, and he's out for a hamstring with the hamstring for a while. So I'll be honest with you. I expected more out of New Orleans offense. I think that all the weapons that they have on the outside and that offensive line should be performing better. And I know it's only 2 weeks, but they've probably played their C game. I think, my point was this: when they're rolling, I know it's Drew Brees and Sean Payton, but when they're rolling, they put the quarterback under center. They're really good with their play action game to create chunks. I don't see that right now. And this isn't just for New Orleans. This is just point blank for most offenses in the NFL. If you think you're just going to put your quarterback in shotgun and dink and dunk your way down the field, It ain't going to happen in 2023. It's just not going to.
All right, so that's on the Carolina Panthers Saints game. Congrats to the Saints. Congrats to Dan calling Monday Night Football.
Yeah, we'll go Dan.
Allergies are crazy. The weather's changing. We're happy you're joining us after a long night. I assume you got a full day today. It is football season. It's Orlovsky season.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move. As you're talking about, if you put your quarterback in shotgun and just dink and dunk and have a boring offense and not really utilize the modern stuff that's available to offenses, you're just not doing your. You said, and I quote with a tweet this morning, I do believe we have, Dan Orlovsky tweeted that Matt Canada had a pretty good game last night.
Yeah.
I don't think Matt Canada has been a great offense coordinator. I've vocalized that, you said, pretty much. But last night was not on him. You think he had a good game. Now, that got quote tweeted a lot more than it got reposted. I don't know if you saw that. So that normally means people have some ideas that disagree with yours. All of Pittsburgh was chanting, "Fire Canada! Fire Canada!" in the stadium last night, 70,000 deep chanting that whole thing. So when you put this tweet out, I think you're trying to directly go against them or inform them that they're not accurate with their takes. Why did you think Matt Canada called a very strong game last night when the defense had 2 of the touchdowns? Boswell hit 2 50-yarders, and the offense accounted for next to nothing except for a couple massive plays from Pickett to Pickens.
Yeah, so, I'll start with this. One, Cleveland's defense really good. That defensive front is going to outmatch Pittsburgh's front, so that's the start. To your point, I don't think that Matt Canada has done the necessary job to be a really good coordinator in the NFL. So go back to last night. This is why when I watched that game, I watched it this morning and then onto the flight. I think, number one, and I don't know exactly what he's getting taught, but Kenny Pickett is not looking at the picture pre-snap and going, I really like this, the way I would expect a quarterback to. I'll go back to it. They ran early in the game, Pat.
Take us there, Dan. Take us there, Dan. Take us there.
It's first quarter. There's 8:16 on the clock, okay? He's got – and D-Butt knows this. Okay, so the ball's on the right hash. He's got Allen Robinson as the solo receiver to his right versus Denzel Ward. George Pickens is up, all the way extended out to the field, and I think it's Newsome, or I don't know exactly the corner, but it's man-to-man. It's 3rd and 3. There's nobody out to the field except the nickels covering the slot. There's no extra hole defender. As a quarterback, I got Allen Robinson versus Denzel Ward into the boundary. Denzel Ward, definitely a better cover corner. And then Pickens with all that field running a slant versus a number 2 or number 3 corner. That ball should go to George Pickens at 100 out of 100 times. That's how I would do it. That's how I. And so he goes to Allen Robinson. Right, D-Butt?
Agree.
Troy was
no doubt. He throws it to Allen Robinson. Denzel Ward makes a great play. Great. There's another one where he's got Pickens on a wrap route versus press coverage. This happened twice last night. And it's press man coverage. There's an extra hole defender. Kenny takes the snap and goes like 1, 2, 3 ball out timing like it's routes on air. Dude, it's press coverage. D-Butt knows this as well. You got to give that receiver just a fraction of a second to win at the line, move that whole defender, and then give it to that open receiver. But Kenny's throwing it like it's on time. So there's 3 or 4 plays of that.
Notes. Yeah.
Wow.
He's ready here.
This guy watched film.
Yeah, he's ready. He's ready. Pro. He's a pro.
Stared down guys too much last night, and he has not been doing that. So that was surprising to me. And then I count 3 misses throw-wise that just like you can't in the NFL. Like he's first-round pick. He's got 2 he should be too good of a player to miss those throws. So I don't think last night was a Matt Canada night. I'm not saying it was Kyle Shanahan, but Kenny did not play well last night.
That's kind of been the story of both games. Kenny's missed some, and then Matt Canada's offense has still been it. And I think what Tone says and Steelers fans say, they say is one because of the other, though. You know, that's how much they hate Matt Canada, by the way. But Kenny Pickett's playing bad or missing a throw, they're like, got to be Matt Canada. Somehow this has got to be Matt. That's where it's at, Dan. That's where it's at. How do you?
Yeah. I don't like. Again, I think that Matt Canada is probably more of the issue. Yes, in the body of work, the broad scheme of things.
Okay, that was
I'm not
5.
calling. No, I'm not talking about just last night. I've said all along going into this offseason, like, is Matt Canada going to get better? Still the jet sweeps. Like, everyone's going back to that late in the fourth quarter Kenny Pickett run where they're like, it's 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. If Kenny Pickett gives the football, it's a first down to Najee Harris. Right. He should be reading the edge pressure and the wrap guy.
Wait, he ran power? Is that what you're talking about? You're talking about power play?
I think it was zone. I think it was a zone read with the backside tight end leading. If Kenny gives the ball, it's first down. So,
so you sound like you're hating on Kenny Pickett a little bit.
Do not like.
You don't like Kenny Pickett because he wears 2 gloves. His hands are small. You got a small head. You ever think about that?
He just didn't play well. He's got to see the field better. He can't miss these layups that are happening in the NFL. I did not like some of the pre-snap decision making. I don't know what he's getting taught, so maybe he's getting taught that. I wouldn't teach it that way. And
I think they would take you as offense coordinator there in Pittsburgh real quick.
Yeah.
Tone has a question for you, Dan.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Dan, because even Troy was talking about it last night, and even on the Pickens long touchdown, he was looking somewhere else first before he even went back to Pickens. But why do you think that is? Because the end of last season, he wasn't doing stuff like that, and then I know it was preseason, he definitely wasn't doing stuff like that. And it seems like his accuracy has dropped so much. Do you have a reason potentially why that is?
No, I don't think there's any mechanical flaws in his game right now, Tone. Like, sometimes when the accuracy goes, are his feet all over the place? Is he dealing with pocket issues that are kind of changing the way or the angle of the throw? I will say this. There were some misses last night that he's throwing the ball so hard. It's almost like watching a dude throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball off the top of a bump. So I don't know if there's a little bit of a forcing the football in those moments, like just like kind of gripping and throwing it so hard instead of kind of trusting what his eyes are seeing and letting it go. Like even one of those in breakers that I talked about with George, he's just freaking fired, and George gets his heads around and the ball is all over him timing wise. So yeah, I don't know kind of why some of these misses that are creeping up, other than maybe there's just this kind of stress level of trying to be perfect that's forcing some misses.
How do you fix that? You got to go see somebody? Maybe drink some ayahuasca, smoke some dope?
What?
Yeah. I mean, I think, try and kind of ease your mind a little bit probably helps. Taking some of the pressure off helps. Trying to not be perfect. I think he feels the gravity of the situation, like, maybe my play caller's not great, and so I'm not getting a ton of wide open people, but I can't place it all on Matt Canada, guys. I can't. Kenny Pickett, this is 2 weeks now, hasn't seen the field as well, and he's missed open throws. And so I think they got to figure out why those two things are happening.
He also might like Matt Canada.
Yeah.
You know, so like he hears everything that's being said about Matt Canada, and like it's weighing heavy on him that he's missing throws too. Like, I'm not helping my guy out at all. And they're calling, the whole 70,000 people were chanting for this guy to get fired. And he probably is wearing a little bit of that. I would assume he's wearing that too, right?
Yeah, of course. And it's a tight game, and your defense is playing great, and you start to feel I can't make a mistake or anything because we should win this football game if I make 2 or 3 plays or 2 or 3 throws. Like, I'll tell you, Matt Canada called a perfect screen pass versus pressure. If Kenny gets the pass off, it's probably going to be a touchdown, and it gets batted down, and that's